So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. Got the hunt man here. It was a rough morning. Gonna have a few hot dogs here over the fire for a late lunch or early dinner. I'm not sure what you'd call it. So this morning, Hunter had another grand mal seizure, and I tell you, those are hard to witness, and I'm sure it's much worse if you go through one. But as you can see, he's doing good now. The last one he had, I think, was in February. Yeah. So it's been several months, and he's doing good now. So we're just kind of having a late lunch or an early dinner. I don't know what you call it, a couple hot dogs here. But you're just, whenever that happens, you're just kind of on edge all the time. Normally he'll have one, and then it might be 5 or 6 months before he has another. But at other times he'll have, I think they call it like a cluster, where he has a couple over, a few day period.
It's got to be hard to go through because it is awful to watch. And then you kind of shut down the rest of the schedule. We had things planned for today, and that just kind of brings things to a halt. Yeah. So.
He slept for what?
Probably like 3.5 hours. Yeah,
3.5 hours he slept, and he's back to normal for right now.
Yeah.
Where he put a load of laundry in.
Yeah.
And when he had the seizure, it was a long one. And when he started coming out of it, he just wants to
get back.
Like, we're trying to hold him up. He can't even walk, and he's just ready to take off and go do something. I'm like, Hunter. So we got him to his bed, and then you could tell when he was finally out of it, out of the seizure state, I guess, and we got him in bed. He just kind of curled up on the pillow, pulled the blanket up, and he gave us a little smile, you know what I mean? And then he was good. Like I said, slept for about 3.5 hours. So that's where we're at with that. We're going to have a hot dog, and then I'll show you the other bit of bad news. Nothing like this, but this isn't good either. So you remember about a month ago, I bought a set of new tires for the Super Duty. They're beautiful. BF Goodrich TAs. These are the KO3s, the new one. And speaking of threes, I'm down to 3. I got the spare on here. I put a screw through it, about a 3-inch screw, and it got real close to the sidewall. I have no idea where I picked it up at, but I had to order a new tire, and it will be in tomorrow morning, so I have to take it back out and get another new one put on, but it is what it is. Right now we're gonna head out to the clearing. I've got the mini skid parked out here, and we're gonna try something. I'm not sure if it'll work or not. As you know, I've got this little annoying squeak that comes out of the tracks, like where the front idler is, and I don't think it's like a bearing or anything like that. I'm not sure what it is, and it just won't go away. So I called the dealer today, and they called me back, talked to the service people. They don't think it's anything to worry about, and they think it will go away once I get some more hours on it. So we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm going to try a little something that may work, and I don't think it can hurt. And that is a little silicone lubricant. This is safe for rubber. My thought was, the tracks are like steel belted, and the squeak almost sounds like the tracks running over the roller. I don't know, but we're going to spray a little of this on there, do a little test, see if it helps. First, without. right, so that did nothing. I mean, I didn't have high hopes or anything, but I thought it may help. We will just see what happens. If it doesn't get better over time, I'll take it to the dealer and see if they can make the squeak go away. If anyone else has one of these Vermeers, though, let me know if you have the same thing. I mean, it's not prohibiting the operation of the machine or anything. It's not hurting anything. It's just annoying. So I'll just turn my podcast up a little bit on my headphones when I'm running it for now. All right, next up, we're going to head down to the pond with the excavator. I think some of that muck that I pulled out of there the other day should have dried up some. right, I am down here at the pond, and I know it looks like a big mess right now, but it is coming together. I want to get this all done before the rains come. It's been real dry. Now's the time to do this. But I don't have too much more to come out of here at all. I got a little pile over there. I've got a bench right there. I can get to that. Pull that stuff back. I got just a few more logs right there where I had that road that went out onto it. Pull those logs out. That material down there I'll kind of use to dress this all up when I'm done. But yeah, there's really not that much more to come out of here. Soon I'll be kind of putting it all back together and dressing it up. What I do, it's way down over a hill here. I know it doesn't look like it on camera, but it's pretty steep. So you pull the muck out of here, get a big pile in here, and it dries quick. Just in a matter of a couple days, it loses a lot of water. Then you bale it from there up to here. I've got a pile over here, and then I kind of mix and match and blend it together. And I'm making a real nice big pile down there that I can use, you know, for future use. It should be really good, fertile soil once it all dries out. Yeah, that pile there, it's amazing. You would think if you put it in a big pile like that, it would just stay wet, but it's like the water drains out of it or something. It works out pretty good. But yeah, it's coming together. I may come down. I was going to come down later this evening, but I'll wait till tomorrow morning, maybe even tomorrow afternoon, get rid of all this and this with the skid loader, and then one final pull, and then clean up. But right now I'm going to head back up to the house, see how the Huntman and Melissa are doing. We've been kind of taking shifts, you know what I mean? Normally, he doesn't have one seizure right after another, but it just keeps you on edge, you know what I mean? So we like to have one of us stay pretty close to him at all times, at least till we see how things shake out. Well, everything's good at the house, and I just checked the weather. It's supposed to rain tomorrow night. So I'm going to head back down here, move some of these piles. They're pretty wet, but anything I can get done, I'll be that much farther ahead of the game. Alright, it's starting to get dark, but I got my piles cleaned up. I left a little bit over here because that's nice dry stuff. That's what I'll use to dress everything off when I'm done. But I think I have enough room. I can come down here tomorrow, get the rest of that muck out of there. And I think I have enough room to put it. My big pile over there is getting huge, which I'll put that to good use at some point. But anyway, I'll report back tomorrow morning, give you a better look. All right, so I'm down here working at the pond this morning. I've been down here for about a half hour or so, and things have changed considerably, and I figured out two things that I did wrong when I started this. Number one, when I had the log bridge going out into the pond so I could clean all that out, I needed some dry dirt to put on top of the logs, and I got a little bit greedy, and I took it from this area right here, and it's kind of a soft spot now. I shouldn't have done that because I can't run on that. Then the other thing that I did wrong, I left this little pile of dirt over here, and it could stay there. It's no big deal, but it's going to bother me, so I want to get it out of there. I shouldn't have left that there. So with that being said, this is what the plan is now. I tried coming out here with the excavator, and it's real soft on that edge, and it was real soft over in here, and I was sliding towards the pond. So, excavated a little bit of material, put the logs in here, pulled the rest of them out of the pond. There may be one, maybe even two left in there, I'm not sure. But what I want to do is make a nice platform here that I can come out here, get this dirt, and clean up this last little bit. And you know, I'm thinking, I'm not sure, I may leave this right here. I don't know, you know, put some dirt over top of it. It'll last a very long time. And then when I'm done, dig kind of a low spot in here. The clay liner's down there quite a bit. And I could come right down here, you know, every year or so, every 2 years even, and clean out the sediment right here before it fills up the pond like it was doing. So we're gonna have to see how it all shakes out. My plans are kind of up in the air. But the good news is I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I have not buried the excavator yet, so that's good. So here's what I'm gonna work on now. I'm going to pull the rest of this out of here, okay, and get the wet stuff up top. Any dry material I'll put out here over top of these logs, and I'll probably put 1 or 2 more logs out here and make like a nice bench that I can sit on. So that's what I'm going to do. If I can get the rest of that out of there, I about got it. And then when I'm sitting here, I can pull this out here. I can reach over to this pile. I should be able to get pretty close to that. And then this will be kind of like my sed trap area right here. I can direct the stream where it comes in. So it comes in on this side, it'll drop the sediment in there. And then, like I said, every once in a while, come down here, bail 20 or 30 buckets out of there instead of, you know, 2,000 or 3,000.
When she wrapped her loving arms around my neck on the dance floor at Chelsea's bar, I should have turned her away, but I was out of sea. I was firing, she was gasoline. But we were both sad and lonely after what death had done. But like rattlesnakes kicked across the ground. Our true loves were dead and our hearts were full of grief. I was firing, she was gasoline, good God. I was firing, she was gasoline. But we helped each other out, Lord, to ease some of the pain. Best friends and lovers most of the time. But I would go mad when she would turn mean. I was firing, she was gasoline. Yeah, I was firing, she was gasoline. together or apart. But it's hard to be alone, and the future seemed I was fire and she was gasoline. But when we got locked up in the Chester County Jail, we both knew it was too far out of hand. Staring at 5 years in the penitentiary, I was fire and she was gasoline. Good God, too much fire and too much gasoline. Well, we cleaned that mess up.
All right, it is coming together. As you can see, this is kind of my finished grade, pretty close to it, and it kind of matches up with the rest of it over on the other side, natural ground there. I'll leave those logs in there. I need this stuff to dry out a little bit, but then I'll get rid of these 2 piles with the skid loader, the dry dirt. I'll go out over top of those logs a little bit, make a nice bench there. Can get those, you know, a little bit cleaned up right there. Not much of that actually has to come out. It just needs dressed up a little bit. And then I'll leave that in there, and you know, it won't take much work at all to come down here and maintain that off of that little bench right there. We'll direct the stream so the sediment goes in that corner, and as long as you stay on top of it, it won't keep filling up the pond and working its way across. So I think that'll be good, actually. It's funny, you get to a point where it doesn't seem like you're getting anything done, and then all of a sudden, it all just kind of comes together. But anyway, right now, I need to head up to the house, go get my new tire on my truck, and then I think Melissa and I are going to switch places for a bit. She's going to go out and get some groceries and that, and I'll hang out with the hunt man. So I think that's about it for today's video. Appreciate y'all being here. I will catch you on the next one.